Hi, and welcome to the 26th Annual Post-Gazette Wrestling Classic to benefit Dapper Dan Charities. I'm Mark Uriah along with George Lammy, and a great matchup, USA versus Pennsylvania. The USA team with a combined 38 state championships against 15 combined championships for the state of Pennsylvania. George, something very special going to happen here tonight that rarely happens in the history of the Classic.
No doubt. We have Chris Rodriguez, a four-time state champion from Georgia, coming in here. He's going to wrestle two different guys, Justin Spates and Chris Flieger. Both of these young men from Pennsylvania, two-time state champions each, and they're going to wrestle one at the beginning and one at the end. So we'll see how Rodriguez does against these two outstanding wrestlers from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania versus the USA coming up in just a couple of minutes. Sit back, relax. Great wrestling here, the Post-Gazette Dapper Dan Classic.
He's the type of kid that just keeps going and always stays in your face. Real smooth.
Going to be a Wolverine for the University of Michigan. Justin Spates, University of Missouri.
119-pound bout to start with, then we'll go back to 112 and work our way all the way up through heavyweight, and then see Rodriguez and Flieger in our 13th and final bout of the evening. Halfway through the opening period, no score here.
Oh yes, they've met before, but in another world. Not in high school wrestling.
Larry Maggi, the referee. Greg Severn works as mat judge. Talking to Larry Maggi a little bit before we started tonight, and he says even as an official, this is fun for them. They don't quite feel the pressure that they might during the season. Rodriguez couldn't finish that little throw. Spates in deep. Rodriguez stopping him, at least for the moment, with 20 seconds to go in the first. Spates keeps on coming, though. Doesn't have the takedown just yet. And there it is.
And that's Spates to me. He's just a control guy. He doesn't get too flashy or too out of control. When he pulled that leg back around, he just really had the control he needed. And great technique right off the get-go. Spates up after the first.
And that's just using the length that he has to his advantage.
Spates will take bottom position for the second period. Rodriguez featured as an athlete of the week in Sports Illustrated in the month of February. And he will give Spates an escape to begin the second period. Spates' father, as most people know, college head coach in the state of Oklahoma. Great action between these two, and Rodriguez trying to finish, but Spates making it difficult on him. And the crowd, even though no points awarded, love that flurry.
That's clear where Rodriguez wants to be at this point, is wants to hit the high-profile stuff. Spates doesn't want to be in there. We'll see if he can get himself worked clean and get out there where he likes to be open more.
Spates just has amazing reach, and he can get out of things from just about anywhere.
Well, Spates' pedigree is pretty obvious. I mean, your dad's a Division I head coach, and you're two-time state champion here in Pennsylvania. You've got some stuff going on.
Spates leading 3-0. 1:05 remaining in the second period. Tom Dolte of Connellsville and Jason Carpetta of Fort Cherry, the Pennsylvania coaches. For the United States, Mike Moyer, the NWCA Executive Director, the head coach.
And Rodriguez has been holding his elbow early on.
And he'll need some time to get that taken care of. And we continue with 44 seconds to go in the second period. Justin Spates of Pennsylvania leading Chris Rodriguez of the United States team 3-0.
Rodriguez needs to score on his feet here. It's not likely to score points off Justin Spates from bottom, and if you do, you'll be very thankful to get him.
Sports Illustrated. In February,
20 seconds left in the second. Rodriguez gave Spates the escape.
Spates almost with a duck. Couldn't finish up, though.
10 seconds.
It looks like Spates will lead 3-0 after 2.
Let's go, Chris. Let's go. You got to take it down. Attack now. You attack right there.
Stop the shot there by Spates.
Chris, you cannot hang in there.
See what happens with Rodriguez here, down 3-0 in the third.
Now attack. Stay on him.
Spates called for stalling. First call against him. And you can hear the local crowd doesn't like the call. Minute and a half to go. Spates in a little trouble here. Nice little maneuver there by Spates to try to go to the funk here.
Spates is going to fight this off. Unbelievable.
Might get a stalemate here shortly. A little over a minute remaining. There's the call. Rodriguez again really in pain. You gotta wonder if he's gonna be able to get through a second bout.
Well, that's my thought exactly. And since you went there, Mark, especially depending on how this finishes up.
Headlock attempt there by Spates. The two tumbling around, neither able to wrap up. And again, the crowd appreciates the effort of the two.
Rodriguez is just he really has forced the action in this match. Spates just been able to scramble out of everything. He will not be scored on.
Spates happy to stay right where he is with 35 seconds to go and a 3-0 lead. And a bloody nose here for Rodriguez. Final 35 seconds after the blood timeout. And Rodriguez left the legs open there. Spates trying to take advantage.
Spates wisely down on that leg now, and now Rodriguez has got very little time to play with.
Spates just kind of lost the leg. Rodriguez going to get the takedown to pull to within 1, and they want him to let Spates up.
Spates is not going to let him let go.
Spates now rolled over to his back as he nearly came out on top. 5 seconds to go. Spates going to try to come out the back door. He doesn't get the reversal, but he does get the 3-2 win. So Justin Spates gives Pennsylvania a 3-0 lead in one of 2 marquee matchup bouts here. We'll see Rodriguez again a little later. At 112 pounds, Terrence Thompson from Rock Hill, South Carolina, taking on Robert Redmond from Penn Argyll High School in Pennsylvania. Redmond with a quick takedown, and he'll let Thompson up. Redmond, a state champion a couple of weeks ago. 91 career wins for him and 12 losses, 35-1 in his senior season. Thompson, 43-2 as a senior, 138-13 in his career, 2-time state champion, winning as a junior and a senior, as well as a 3rd place finish as a sophomore.
He was the PIAA state champion. Overall record 91-12.
2-1, Redmond of Pennsylvania leading. Thompson not able to finish before they go out of bounds.
Tell you what, that was an electrifying way to start a bout here, Mark. That was great wrestling. Tremendous wrestling in that last bout.
Rod Spates really emotional after the win.
Redmond interested in graphic design. Thompson physical education, but don't know where, don't know when.
Thompson working the quarter Nelson.
Thompson has designed.
Halfway through the opening period, Thompson wanted to try to walk around behind, but couldn't get there.
Rock Hill High School in South Carolina, USA team.
And now they'll work open with 50 seconds left in the first. Redmond still leading 2-1. And now it's Redmond who goes to the quarter Nelson.
112 pounds, folks.
Greg Severn, the referee, Jim Horner, the match judge. Pennsylvania with a 3-0 team lead. 30 seconds left in our first period at 112 pounds. Down to 20 seconds left in the first.
Wonderful people at UPMC Health Systems.
Thompson missed with a shot. Redmond wanted to spin behind, couldn't finish.
I'm
Redmond really shooting from a distance at this point, not able to get a lot of deep penetration. Thompson trying to work that front head and arm combination, but Thompson's had a couple of decent shots.
2-1, Redmond of Pennsylvania leads after one. Redmond trying to get free. Thompson does a nice job taking him back to the mat. Redmond nearly free again, but they're out of bounds. 14 seconds off the second period clock. Redmond of Pennsylvania leading Thompson of the USA 2-1.
The traditional style here, Mark, as opposed to what we saw earlier, kind of goes back to guys who wrestle well on the mat, and certainly probably a better indicator in a lot of ways of how a normal high school wrestling match would go, at least in this state.
Thompson still in control. Redmond trying to get free out front. And a stalemate will bring the two back into the center once again.
These 49 fine athletes bring in a high school win record of 6,082 dual matches. That includes 82.
Minute 23 to go second period. Redmond of Pennsylvania still leading 2-1. And there's the escape for Redmond to give him a 3-1 lead. Good shot by Redmond, but unable to finish it. In the 25 previous years, Pennsylvania has won 13 of the 25 matches against the United States. The USA winning 11. There was one tie. 50 seconds left in the second. Redmond of Pennsylvania leading 3-1.
All right, 45 seconds. We're down to 45 seconds in the second period. Still a 3-1 lead for Robert Redmond.
They'll work open again. Good shot again for Redmond. He's had a couple, but Thompson has done a nice job of countering, but Redmond will finish this time. That takedown gives him a 5-1 lead.
Redmond kind of puts his head down, but goes forward and gets deep enough, and once he's in, he gets the takedown, and now has put some distance here between he and Thompson in the second.
Redmond's much more aggressive here tonight than he was at the state tournament too. And that a little bit might have to do with pressure. A little bit might have to do with it being the state finals. You don't want to make any mistakes, and here you can just go out and let it go.
Redmond leads 5-1 after two. He qualified for the Pennsylvania State Tournament as a fourth-place finisher in his region in 1999, but did not place. Did manage to win one bout.
Choice reverts back to Thompson of the United States.
Thompson wants to work on his feet to begin the third. He trails 5-1. Redmond with another good deep shot at a single. Whizzer by Thompson. Redmond gets both legs now, and he'll finish off yet another takedown to go up 7-1. Minute and a half remaining in the third period. Pennsylvania leads 3-0, and Redmond of the Keystone State leads 7-1 with a minute 20 to go here at 112 pounds.
I think for the first time today, we're seeing some legs riding, and that's, characteristic. We see a lot of that here in Pennsylvania, and I'm sure in other areas of the country as well. But first time today, these guys have had a chance to throw them in, and Redmond appears to like them and is pretty good with them.
He is. He's real tough with them.
We're down to the final 60 ticks. 1 minute. 1 minute remains.
Redmond with a solid ride and a solid 7-1 lead. He'll go crossbody.
45 seconds.
Thompson flattened out, just can't get anything going. And a stalemate will bring the two back to referee's position with 38 seconds to go. Good crowd on hand here at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Redmond goes optional start.
Redmond fencing loose. 7-2 now.
Escape makes it 7-2. Redmond in on a single again. Nice trip, another takedown makes it 9-2.
Redmond appears to have some strength to go with it, and he just did a nice job of lifting with that and taking him right down, and now he's going to let him up for an escape.
Makes it 9-3. Redmond looking to get a major decision here, but he's running out of time. He'll have to settle for the 9-3 regular decision. 3 team points, and the Pennsylvania team takes his 6-0 lead.
The winner, Robert Redmond. At Argyle High School. His opponent from Perry High School in Pennsylvania, Mike May.
At 125 pounds, Mike May, a 1999 Pennsylvania State champion out of Derry High School, wrestling Paul Cullum, who is from Romeville High School in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And they're out of bounds, 22 seconds in, no score.
May, of course, as we said a year ago, was a state champion, and this year was injured and couldn't wrestle at the state tournament. May, of course, an outstanding wrestler in his own right, and so the committee awarded him the opportunity to wrestle here in this, and certainly, I think, very deserving. May in deep on a shot. Nice deep single. See if he can lift it. Tries to switch off to a double at this point. Now Cullum trying to work toward a spladle. Tries to lift up on that far leg, and May now just tries to base down at this point. Cullum trying to drive into him. I'm sorry, Mark.
It's all right. May also finished 5th in the state in 1998. Second place finisher in the region that year. May 127-10 in his career, 30-0 as a senior. Gives up a takedown here to fall behind 2-0. Cullum 30-3 on the season, 141-9 in his career, a first and a second in his state tournament, and he has May in deep trouble. May is able to fight it off. 3 near fall points for Cullum.
And Jeff, was that just a quarter that he hit and drove him to his back with? I'm not real sure. I saw that earlier in the last bout. I don't know how you do that.
It's not a quarter really. They're rolling with it more, but it's locked up similar to a quarter Nelson, and they're rolling through with it. It gets really tight. I mean, you really have to roll through with it. Your only chance is to get belly down once you go through, because it's so tight you have to go with the roll.
We haven't seen much of that here, though, in this region, have we? I mean, maybe I've missed it, but I think some other areas of the country are using it, and that's a good example of it.
Well, it's one of our high school coaches, Coach Brickers. He worked a lot of it up at UPJ, and then last year I know Mario Stewart did it. I mean, it's around here, but it's not one of our premier moves.
Nice little shrug at the end of the second period by May. He got an escape and then a takedown, and he's able to pull to within 2, 5-3 after 2. 6-0 team lead. May gives an escape to make it 6-3. Cullum working the front headlock. Cullum trying to spin around behind. May stops that. Jim Horner, the referee. Tom Mann's the match judge here in our 125-pound bout. Cullum trying to keep May inside the boundary so he can finish here. Doesn't have it just yet. May trying to get out of bounds. And does. No takedown. 1:08 to go in the second. 6'3", Paul Cullum of the USA, who is out of Illinois and will attend the University of Illinois.
In this 26-year series, 25 years up.
Mike May will wrestle right here at the University of Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania leads the series with 14 wins. 10 wins for the United States team and 1 year.
Cullum in deep on the ankle. And the takedown for Cullum now gives him an 8-3 lead. We're going to get a penalty point here.
Locked hand situation. He locked his hands and wasn't in the pinning set, so lucky point for May, really.
Makes it 8-4 with 42 seconds to go in the second.
No switches. Right up. No switches. Right in. Keep it.
May trying to get free. Nice job by Collum to stay with it. 28 seconds left in the second period. 8-4, Paul Collum of the USA in the lead.
Collum, pretty steady guy. Just stays right after you and doing a nice job against May so far.
May's the type of kid though too. He never loses composure. He got down 5-0 early in the match and didn't even seem to phase him. Just came back, got himself back in the match. Never lost his composure at all.
Close to getting one here, and there it is late in the second period to make it 8-5. And that will be the score after 2. May will have choice going to the third period. I will never forget one year up at the state tournament, they announced a basketball score of some sort, and everybody in the crowd booed. May with an escape to pull to within 2. It's 8-6. And they're out of bounds. Takedown on the edge, though, for Collum to back him up to a 4-point lead. 10-6 with 1:43 to go.
10-6.
I think May a little bit upset with himself that time. Relaxes on the edge and doesn't get away. And, you know, had he been in the position he wanted to be in, down by 2, now he's down by 4 and going to take a lot at this point.
Yeah, well, but it's far from over, too. And Collum seemed to give the reaction that he thought it was over. He got up and pumped his fist in the air a couple times. I don't think the match is far from over.
He's going to get a couple near fall points here. Held May down there long enough to earn 2 more, and now he leads 12-6.
Keep him in and right him. Keep him in the circle.
Collum, one of those guys, appears to be a strong control guy. Not real flashy, just really in control, and has been very steady here. And May, every time he tries to crawl back into it, Collum just comes up with something, and that takedown on the boundary is a good example of that.
We talked a little bit earlier, George, you mentioned it about it being a couple of weeks. Well, May hasn't wrestled since his section tournament, so this is his first really competitive action in quite some time, about 3 or 4 weeks.
No doubt about that, and that's got to play a role in this whole scenario.
He gets an escape to make it 12-7, and now he'll try to spin behind. He's got the takedown to make it 12-9. Give up an escape to make it 13-9.
And no hesitation. Right away with the escape, give himself time.
May with a neck injury after his section tournament did not wrestle in the WPIAL nor state tournaments. Down by 4 with 40 seconds left. May,
nice shot.
Very aggressive here. Trying to pull to within 2, and he does with a takedown. Gives up an escape to make it 14-11, but only 25 seconds to go. Valiant effort by Mike May, but it looks like he may come up a little short. And nice move there by Collum, and he's going to get the fall at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Very big for the USA team, and that ties the team score at 6. Here we go at 130 pounds. Ryan McCallum for Pennsylvania out of Northampton High School against Brad Metzler from Nebraska.
This is Ryan McCallum.
Metzler, never been beaten, never lost. 4-time state champion, 120-0. Wow. Pretty doggone good. He's also from Nebraska, by the way, which is interesting because he could have been wrestling the first bout here this afternoon, and that would have made a little bit of a difference, I might suspect.
McCallum, a state champion 2 weeks ago, a second-place finisher in '99, a qualifier in '98, but did not place. As George mentioned, Metzler 35-0 on the season, 120-0 in his career, a 4-time state champion. 120-19, the career record for McCallum, 40-5 in the '99-2000 season.
does have 19 losses.
Scoreless through 50 seconds here. Ankle pick attempt by McCallum. Couldn't finish it.
Metzler has the distinction of being the first and only four-time Nebraska state
They
champion.
just made an announcement, whether you heard it or not. Metzler, Nebraska's first and only four-time state champion.
No points out here. "45 seconds. They're still getting acquainted.
Crowd very quiet here in the opening minute 20 of this bout. Nice fireman's attempt by Metzler. See if he can finish it. Yes, he does.
Too often anymore.
So Metzler takes a 2-0 lead.
30 seconds. 2 points on the board for Metzler.
Short time now, let's go.
Fireman's carrying one of the perfect.
That's a nice job on that fireman. Set it up beautifully and then hit it strong.
Tap on it.
Now really tough on top, working the back of the neck pretty good. And 10 seconds to go, first period, up 2-0. Throws the legs in now, just going to run this thing out, I think.
And Metzler will lead 2-0 after one. It's the second. The wrestlers on their feet. Brad Metzler of the USA leading 2-0. Metzler going to attend Stanford University. McCallum not yet decided. And they're out of bounds. 1:32 to go in the second. Still 2-0. Brad Metzler, the USA.
Along to Metzler.
McCallum with a shot, couldn't get in deep.
Hey, coach. Coach. Last high school match.
They just continue to work in a tie-up.
Is this his last?
1:15 remaining in the second.
He's done.
In deep on the ankle is Metzler. McCallum locks behind the knee.
1 minute.
Just under a minute to go, second period. McCallum almost able to get to a spladle here. McCallum trying to adjust his position there, and Metzler trying to take advantage of that.
Control yet.
Didn't have the leg on the far side, and that's why he couldn't finish it off. And now he's kind of in a bad position, and Metzler's trying to work him from right there.
McCallum really wasn't trying for a split. He was just trying to for a counter. Something. A lot of times you can just catch that and get a stalemate, even if you don't roll it through.
And an injury timeout.
36 hours.
And we're back to action with 25 seconds left in the second period. Brad Metzler out of Nebraska, representing the United States team, leading 2-0 over Ryan McCallum of the Pennsylvania team.
25 years has raised nearly $200,000. And that's without this year.
And we'll come to the end of the second period with Metzler still leading 2-0, and he'll have the choice going to the third.
Now for young Mr. Metzler.
And he wants to start the third period from the bottom position. Team score tied at 6 through 3 bouts. Metzler close to earning one here early in period number 3. There's the escape to make it 3-0. Now McCallum working the front headlock, trying to see what he can do with that with a minute and a half to go. McCallum trying to walk around behind. Nice little sit to counter there by Metzler.
That's really keeping that leg away and then just able to sit away, and nice little technique by him. Now Metzler close to going behind.
Can't quite finish. Wrestlers are neutral here, with Metzler leading 3-0. And we're now down to 1 minute remaining. Metzler trying to shoot all the way through the legs of McCallum here. McCallum draped over top. Now Metzler going to dump him to a sitting position.
Kind of looking like a stalemate there, and 30 seconds to go now. And that's just exactly the call.
McCallum's really going to have to hurry to score enough points now.
Yeah, that or hit an awful big move.
And I don't think Metzler's going to let him do that.
No.
He's keeping his distance.
Down to just 15 seconds remaining. So it looks like the USA will take a 9-6 lead here. Metzler stays aggressive, takes a shot. And Metzler going to win it by a score of 3-0. And the USA takes a 9-16 lead.
Completing his high school career with a record of 121 wins and no losses. What an accomplishment.
At 135, Jake Gimoni of Easton against Josh Ballard. Gimoni representing Pennsylvania, Ballard out of New Mexico for the USA.
He's a giant, they say, to make life real simple.
Ballard, a 3-time state champion, going to attend Northwestern University. Jake Gimoni, Pennsylvania 135-pound champion, and third in 99. Stalemate 30 seconds in.
Pennsylvania comes in with a record this year of 40 wins against 3 losses. He is a state champion here in Pennsylvania.
Ballard of Team USA.
Ballard trying to finish off a single here.
Record of 31-2.
Gimoni 111 career wins, 40-3 in his senior season. Ballard 131-17, 31-2 as a senior. And a nice work there by Gimoni when he appeared as though he was going to give up the takedown. Able to stay neutral here with just under a minute to go in the first.
Didn't seem too uncomfortable when he had his leg in that position and just kind of hung around and worked, and next thing you know, he's out of there. I think some of that's just comfort level.
Gimoni missed the shot, and referee Clem Wandrisco originally gave a takedown, but then waved it off, so we're still scoreless. Well, let me take that back. Apparently takedown given and then the escape awarded. I thought he waved off the takedown, but not the case.
I think he did too. I'm not sure that the scoreboard's right.
Well, he's talking to Sterner.
And indeed, that was the case. It is scoreless. 15 seconds left in the first. Gimoni trying to walk around behind, and does. So Gimoni takes a 2-0 lead. And we come to the end of the first.
I think Gimoni be frustrating to wrestle. He think you got something on him. You think you got a good shot, and he slides away, and he just keeps it going. I tell you, he's real comfortable. Must have wrestled a long time.
Not unlike Justin Spates.
Not unlike Justin Spates.
Ballard defers. Gimoni takes bottom position, and Ballard gives him an escape to make it 3-0 early in the second. USA with a 9-16 lead. Gimoni trying to change that for the Pennsylvania team. Left the legs open. Ballard takes advantage of it, gets the takedown, and pulls within one.
Nice shot by Ballard. Nice deep double. Gimoni, for all his wiggling the last time, couldn't do anything with that.
I think he was just caught on his heels a little bit too much to come out of that one.
He's free for an escape. His lead is 4-2 now with 1:15 left in the second. Wrestlers working out in the open with a minute to go in the second period. 4-2. Jake Gimoni of the Pennsylvania team leading, but here comes Ballard after the legs.
Ballard in again, fairly deep. Gimoni squeezes the head with his knees and stalemate.
48 seconds left second period as they restart.
45 seconds.
Tap to the head, shot by Ballard, but Gimoni, nice counter, trying to walk around behind. Nice trip on the edge, takedown for Gimoni. He leads 6-2.
Gimoni just stayed right after that sequence, finished strong, kept his feet in bounds, and Gimoni, one of these guys, doesn't mind scrambling around a bit.
32 seconds left second period, 6-2 now. Gimoni of Pennsylvania leading. He'll go optional here and give up an escape to make it 6-3.
6-3. Down 25 seconds here in the second period.
Nice shrug there by Gimoni to get the takedown to go up 8-3.
But when you hit it right, it just looks that good, and Gimoni really had it timed perfectly.
Gimoni worked that real tough in the state finals, too. He scored a lot of points with that. And that was something that Easton did real well in general as a team up at the state tournament.
Used what some guys call a cement job or whatever. I mean, just different guys do different things. As you said, Easton must work that hard, but boy, that was pretty in that situation.
Missed opportunity there for Ballard. Gimoni trying to finish, spin around behind. He can't quite get there. Ballard choosing a neutral position, and it works against him as Gimoni gets another takedown to lead 10-3 with a minute 35 to go. Gives up an escape to make it 10-4. Minute 25 left as they work on their feet. Gimoni trying to pull Pennsylvania even, or possibly give them the lead if he can get a major decision here, and he's a takedown away from getting an 8-point margin. Gimoni fakes a shot there. 1 minute to go.
Ballard didn't want anything to do with that front head and arm, and he quickly got away.
Gimoni trying to reach for a leg. Ballard keeping him at a distance. Ballard with a pretty good shot, but a nice counter by Gimoni. He can't quite finish.
35 seconds.
Gimoni trying to walk around behind. There's the takedown with 30 seconds to go, and it gives him the 8-point margin.
Gimoni's worked the hip pocket real well, too. That's what I've always heard it called anyway. He just tucks his head underneath the armpit and spins around behind, catches an ankle, spins around and gets his 2.
He'll try to just hang on here with 13 seconds to go. And if he can hang on, especially to this 12-4 lead, he'll give Pennsylvania a 10-9 team lead, and that's the way it'll work out. Major decision for Jake Gimoni out of Easton High School for the state of Pennsylvania, and he gives the Keystone State a 10-9 lead.
So Team Pennsylvania takes a Salisbury High School out of town, Pennsylvania.
Here we go at 140 pounds for Pennsylvania. Matt Roncolato out of Salisbury High School. Wrestling Clark Schaus out of the state of Oklahoma. Morrison High School in Morrison, Oklahoma.
Record of 31 wins, no losses.
Roncolato, state champion just a couple of weeks ago. 118 career wins against 25 losses. 35-1 as a senior. Schaus 132-7 in his career. 31-0 in his senior season. A 4-time Oklahoma State champion.
In a lot of ways, that's like saying a 4-time Pennsylvania State champion as well. Their wrestling there is extremely well respected, and so if you're a 4-time Oklahoma State champion, this guy's got to be pretty doggone good.
Stalemate 42 seconds in, still no score.
Even if you're in a state that is very weak in wrestling, if you can be a 4-time state champion, you're pretty tough.
Yep.
Jim Sterner, the referee for this bout.
Gone.
1 minute to go, scoreless first period.
Classroom as well is on the mat. Less than a minute to go. First period.
George, through the notes here, you'll notice he was a 1999 Football Player of the Year.
I've tried to avoid that discussion here in our wrestling activity, but my guess is he's some kind of a skilled player. Interesting going to Oklahoma State. One of the things that's interesting too, Mark, as we look through is a lot of the Pennsylvania guys are still undecided, and my suspicion is with a number of quality wrestling schools across this state that somehow the state places have a sifting process for who offers who scholarships and things of that nature. So I think that's a part of the equation. A lot of these other guys have been already decided and are locked up as far as going to schools and where they're going to wrestle.
Schaus nearly able to get a takedown there after ducking underneath the arm, but couldn't finish it. And we're coming to the end of what looks like it will be a scoreless first period. Pennsylvania with a 10-9 team lead. Roncolato caught a little bit too high, but he's able to tie up a leg. Now loses that. And there's the escape for Schaus. And he takes a 1-0 lead 15 seconds into the second.
Don't forget, folks, when we follow complete our last heavyweight match.
Under a minute and a half now to go in the second period. 1-0. Clark Schaus, the USA team. Stalemate call.
They have the award, ladies and gentlemen, for the one match, the one wrestler who turned things around by his efforts. They call it the Turning Point of the Match Award, given by Troyer Farms.
Roncolato got close to a leg, but couldn't pull it in.
We've got just a committee.
He's had a couple pretty good aggressive shots, but just hasn't gotten tight enough to get something done.
Schaus trying to work a single to a double, does. Gets the takedown, leads 3-0.
3-0 now.
40 seconds left, second period. Schaus going to give Roncolato an escape to make it 3-1.
Our sponsors of Kennedy Industries.
Down to 20 seconds left in the second. Schaus with a shot. Roncolato trying to spin around behind, go to a crossface. Actually got it around the neck. And Schaus going to give up the takedown here. Roncolato ties it up at 3.
Roncolato looking to that counter and hit it nicely, and Schaus just probably a little surprised, to be honest with you.
And it's 3-3 after 2.
Doesn't seem to be too affected by too much.
Most of these kids here are pretty calm. I mean, they've been able to keep their composure through just about everything.
Schaus from the optional start gives Roncolato the escape and the lead. 4-3 early in the third. Each wrestler has a takedown. We'll see who gets what may be the deciding takedown here in the third. Stalemate with 1:34 to go.
1 minute 34 seconds. 4-3 now for Roncolato.
Schaus not able to get in deep with that shot. Roncolato being very careful with the 1-point lead and a stalemate with 1:08 to go. It's very similar to the Hershey Park Arena in that this place can be, despite all the people in it, can be completely silent and then all of a sudden erupt. And a stalemate with 46 seconds to go.
46 seconds remaining in this match. 1-point lead for Mr. Roncolato. Allentown, Pennsylvania.
10-9, Pennsylvania leads. Roncolato from Salisbury High School. trying to add to Pennsylvania's 10-point total right now. He leads by 1, and we're down to 25 seconds remaining. Schaus with a shot, but again, not able to get in deep.
15 seconds.
Alcalado got it locked up now. Front head and arm just going to hang tough in there.
Schaus getting a little desperate here with Schaus now called for stalling, backing away, but it's the first call against him. And Schaus wins for, or excuse me, Roncolado wins for Pennsylvania over Schaus to the USA 4-3. And Pennsylvania now takes a 13-9 team lead as we get ready to go to 145.
So it's a 4-point lead now for Team Pennsylvania.
At 145, Travis Schufelt for the USA out of Wisconsin. Pennsylvania, Mike Pirazzolla from Neshaminy High School. Schufelt from Oconto High School in Oconto, Wisconsin. 3-time state champion as well as a 5th place finish. He'll attend Nebraska. Pirazzolla going to Lehigh. Pirazzolla 141 and 7, 36 and 1 on the year. Schufelt 145 and 6 in his career, undefeated his senior season, 39 and 0.
2 runners up. His belt. Actually, in his junior year, he was the
Pirazzolla,
of the state tournament.
a 4-time Pennsylvania state finalist, 2-time champion.
As they say, that was then, this is now.
They're out of bounds, 54 seconds in.
Pirazzolla 141 and 7. It's pretty impressive stuff. And as you said, to be a 4-time state finalist is really something. The Neshaminy course program has been outstanding for years and has put out great numbers of outstanding wrestlers.
Schufelt going to journey towards Nebraska, University of Nebraska Lincoln, while Pirazzolla going to go to Lehigh University.
Scoreless, 45 seconds left first period here at 145.
Pirazzolla, 3-time world team member, placing 4th twice world championship competition. Cadets and what have you. All right, still goes on
Whistle.
the board, just under
Schufelt got poked in the eye.
seconds. Get the award for the match that holds and turns the turning point.
Back to action here at 145 pounds. Late in a scoreless first period. Mike Pirazzolla for Pennsylvania. Travis Schufelt for the USA. Schufelt couldn't finish off that single leg shot. And we'll be scoreless at the end of 1.
And this is one of the few times you'll see a Mike Pirazzolla match be scoreless after the end of 1.
The coin, no score on the board.
Pirazzolla defers. Schufelt will take bottom position for period number 2.
Been here our wrestlers since Friday, and made darn sure that they were safe and sound. We would like to thank certified athletic
Pirazzolla a little bit too high, now dropping his weight back and going to the legs.
They helped us to keep us safe and keep these boys.
Very effectively, I might add, both hips off the ground right now and really torquing on Schufelt.
I need a friendship.
Potentially dangerous will stop Pirazzolla on that half attempt.
He had him going. He was all the way over and moving, but I imagine felt it wasn't safe, and certainly that's why we need to call him.
Pirazzolla right back to the leg ride. Minute and a half remaining second period. Bout is still scoreless. Pennsylvania with a 13-9 team lead. Now Pirazzolla gets the shoulders to 90 degrees and now beyond as the count begins. Pirazzolla going to take the lead here.
He got the full 5.
He'll get 3 near fall points.
He got the first 3 points on the board.
Pirazzolla trying to go back to that again.
Pirazzolla strong on top. Just powerful.
Under a minute to go, second period. Pirazzolla for Pennsylvania leading 3-0.
Folks, as those 2 young men are wrestling, take a look at their ankles.
Down to 45 remaining in the second period.
Some of the wrestlers are wearing. These anklets were invented and provided by Eddie Hall, the former assistant coach at the University of Pittsburgh.
Piazzolla just continues to ride, still with the legs in. 30 seconds left now. Piazzolla just got caught a little bit too high. Reversal for Schufelt makes it 3-2.
Well, that's something new that's coming on the market. Might want to keep watching for it. It's called a combat sleeve.
Piazzolla just not able to get free. Good work on top by Schufelt.
Some of these wrestlers, I hate to say this, became absolute
Piazzolla trying to turn in.
to become untied.
And we'll come to the end of the second period, and Piazzolla will have a 3-2 lead.
Hasn't gone anywhere.
Not at all. Hasn't lost his composure at all, and Piazzolla just got a little too greedy looking for another turn in the second period and gave up 2 points.
Piazzolla's choice to begin the third wants to start from the bottom. His lead is 3-2.
3-2.
Schufelt very strong on top here through the first 30 seconds of the third period. Now Piazzolla grabbing a leg.
Pressure down on the head. Pressure down on the head.
Both of these guys appear to be comfortable riding and working on top and the bottom. And unlike a lot of the matches we've seen where it's been pretty much on their feet, these two guys appear to like it down there. And Piazzolla, I'm sure, realizes he's just a couple of back counts away from giving up the lead. So getting up and out might be a better way to go, but he hasn't really made a move to work to his feet yet.
Tries to, but Schufelt trips him back to the mat.
Reaches back, which is something you don't see many guys doing and pretty much taught not to do, but he's been reaching back a couple of times and not with any success at any point at this point.
In Piazzolla's defense, he's not someone who's on bottom a whole lot. He doesn't have to come off bottom too much, but still, going into college, you need to be sound in all three areas.
40 seconds remaining. Piazzolla still leading by 1. Schufelt riding throughout the third period.
30 seconds remaining.
Piazzolla has a hold of a leg, but not really able to do anything with it. And a potentially dangerous situation there as Schufelt trying to go to the guillotine there.
Went to a clinic years ago and heard a coach from Penn State, I believe his name was Lorenzo, talk about the bottom being referred to as, for lack of a better term, Hades. And gotta get out of that place, otherwise it's very hot down there. And if you get ridden, it's not very much fun. And right now, Piazzolla has been ridden. Now he gets the point escape because Schufelt realized he's not going to be able to turn him, but wasn't able to get a lot of movement off the bottom.
Piazzolla looks like he will hang on and win here by a 4-2 count. And Pennsylvania now has won 3 straight. They trailed 9-6 at one point, but now lead 16-9 as we go to 152.
Jason Woodall of Team Pennsylvania.
At 152 pounds, Nate Baker out of Jackson High School in Lakefield, Minnesota, wrestling Jason Woodall from Pittston Area High School. He's from DuPont, PA.
State champion.
They're out of bounds 15 seconds in.
Mark, just something that I kind of look at. First of all, Baker's won 204 bouts. Now, according to this, he has 5 places, which apparently must mean that in Minnesota, you can compete in 8th grade, I guess.
It could very well be. Some states do allow that.
I don't know how you could win 204 bouts without wrestling for 5 years, though. It'd be pretty doggone tough.
Baker 42-0 in his senior season. As George mentioned, 204 career wins against 12 losses. Woodall 140 career wins against 17 losses, 40-2 his senior season. And look at Woodall here taking Baker to the mat. Gets a takedown and 2 near fall points, leads 4-0.
And Woodall was looking for it. There's no doubt about that. And took him all the way around. Woodall, guess, must like to kind of throw the kitchen sink in. That time the pots and the pans and everything went right with it because I'm sure Baker thought, what in the world happened to me?
Both of the Woodall boys can throw you from just about anywhere. That's what they do best.
And that was pretty obvious on that one.
Escape for Baker to make it 4-1. These two may meet again someday. Woodall going to Penn State and Baker to Minnesota. Both guys muscling one another now. And they're out of bounds. 39 seconds left in the first.
And the crowd apparently knowing that about Woodall, because when he had it locked up there for a minute, there was some anticipatory noise thinking that maybe he was going to throw it again.
35 seconds left in the first. 4-1. Jason Woodall of Pittston area, second place finisher 2 weeks ago in the Pennsylvania State Tournament, a fifth place finisher in '99. .20 left in the first. Both these wrestlers with a lot of notoriety and awards outside the high school wrestling arena. As we come to the end of the first, 4-1 Woodall of Pennsylvania.
Up in the upper body and let it fly, and that's what we saw just a minute ago.
Start of the second period, an escape for Baker to make it 4-2. Woodall nearly taken to his back by Baker, but able to slide out of there and avoid giving up a big package. Now Woodall tried to spin behind, tried to go to a crossface, just couldn't quite finish, and he looked like he might have had Baker in trouble. Minute 15 left second period, 4-2 Jason Woodall of Pennsylvania, with Pennsylvania leading 16-9. They've won 3 straight bouts.
UPMC Health Systems. They have been absolutely superb in helping our committee.
1 minute to go in the second.
You here are the 49 young men who are part of this great classic.
Baker got out of a front headlock there. Baker on a leg, but couldn't finish, and they're out of bounds with 38 seconds left in the second.
Team USA in the red, Team Pennsylvania in the blue.
Woodall stopped the shot. And now the two work back toward the center. Woodall going after the legs, but not able to finish, and they're out of bounds with 18 seconds left in the second.
Now into the final 18
Baker's
seconds.
coach just imploring him to push Woodall and stay on top of him.
This classic brings together very evenly matched competitors from Pennsylvania and around the country.
Looks like they just want to go to the third period. The way things are right now, 4-2 Woodall of Pennsylvania leading.
Final score 4-2.
Greg Severn, the referee. And just 3 seconds into the third, they're out of bounds. Woodall of Pennsylvania leading 4-2. 5 bouts to go after this one. Woodall with the right leg folded back up underneath. Now gets it back down on the mat. Looked like he was in a little bit of pain there.
All this action being put on the internet by Viacom Sports Network.
And they're out with a minute 38 remaining in the third.
Very good friends of high school sports. You folks keep that in mind now when you go home on the internet. Viacom Sports.
Woodall trying to crawl out of there and does before going out of bounds. He now has a 5-2 lead. Baker just couldn't hang on to the ankles.
Woodall did whatever he had to do just to get away. Up 5-2 now. We'll see if Baker tries to get a shot and see if Woodall gets one of those throws working once again.
Baker in deep on a single. Woodall realizing that the two's not going to hurt him too much, so he'll give that up. But Baker pulls to within 1. Still a lot of time left, 1:10.
Right now, he trails by 1 to Jason Woodall.
Cut him loose. Cut him loose. He's going to hide. Cut him loose.
1 minute.
No surprise. Coach is telling Baker to let him go, and Baker hasn't moved at all at this point. But it looks like he's going to ride. We'll see if it gets him to let him go after this.
59 seconds to go. Woodall of Pennsylvania leads by 1, 5-4. Optional start, and Baker does give up the escape to make it 6-4. Now he'll need a takedown to tie. Baker aggressive, going after the legs, but not able to wrap up. And they're out.
Met his match there, so he's got to get down, but 35 seconds to go. Needs to get some movement and get a good shot.
This great classic. In last week's
Baker again got down there, but just couldn't pull the leg in. Nearly caught Woodall on his hip and kind of off balance there, but Woodall just able to recover in time, and now they're out with just 17 seconds left.
So you're looking at some of tomorrow's champions, folks. Right out here now. We're down to 15 seconds. 6-4.
Stalling call against Woodall. First call against him.
DuPont, Pennsylvania.
Baker working up around the head. Woodall wraps around the waist, and Woodall going to get the takedown here after that desperation shot. And Woodall goes up 8-4, and that will be the final. 4 straight wins now for Pennsylvania. They lead by 10, 19-9. At 160 pounds for Pennsylvania, Greg Jones out of Greensburg-Salem High School. For the USA, Steve Forrest from Mount Anthony High School in Bennington, Vermont. Forrest, a 3-time state champion and a 1-time runner-up. Jones, a state champion 2 weeks ago. Also, third place finishes as a freshman and sophomore. Was injured at the state tournament as a junior and defaulted out. And a takedown for Jones, who I thought was one of the more impressive wrestlers I saw in the state of Pennsylvania this year.
Beautiful inside trip, just really stepped in there with aggressiveness, and you got to have confidence on your feet to do that kind of stuff. You don't go in there unless you're sure you can do it. Jones appears to be very confident.
Jones is a freshman, wrestled at 103 pounds, as a sophomore 125, as a junior 140, and as a senior 160.
And even at 160, he still moves like a 103-pounder. He may be the quickest kid I saw in the state all year.
Jones gave up an escape to make it 2-1. Not able to finish a takedown attempt here on the edge with 1:05 to go in the first. Jim Horner officiating here, restarts the 2 160-pounders. Jones going to head for West Virginia. Great work by Jones. Not able to finish, but good combination of moves there. And now Forrest trying to take Jones down right on the edge. Weak whizzer for Jones, but it's enough to prevent him from giving the takedown.
Jones just so explosively quick, as you said, and his coach for Forrest telling him, stay in your stance, because he knows Jones is going to come with a shot. He can't afford to get too high and give up the easy takedown.
AAU Grand National Champion in freestyle and Greco-Roman. 2-time champions.
Good attempt there by Forrest, but not able to finish as he nearly got Jones past him as he went after the leg. First period will end, and Jones leads 2-1 after 1. Jones will defer.
Both these guys have some great credentials. Forrest, an AAU Grand National Champion, and Jones, a great athlete all the way around, plays football and a lot of notoriety there, and Forrest Wrestling is obvious. 139 wins and just a great athlete. Both of these guys are very, very good at what they do.
Escape for Forrest makes it 2-2 early in the second.
Stay with us. When you get up to leave, then people in back work.
Pennsylvania won 4 straight bouts to take a 19-9 lead. They were down at 1.96. Minute 20 left in the second. Jones with a front headlock. And they're out. 1:15 to go. Second period, 2-2 tie here at 160 pounds.
For our first duel, that ended up 22-22.
Jones couldn't get in deep, tries to go to a trip, now gets in with second effort on the legs, and he'll try to finish it off here on the edge.
1 minute, second period.
Forrest wrapping around the, not quite around the waist, tying up the arms really, and they tumble out. No takedown for Jones. Still 2-2, 49 seconds left in the second.
That was a great scramble sequence there, but Jones really had just kept that thing moving and went from one thing to the next, and Forrest was able to kind of work the edge, fortunately for him, although did a nice job of countering.
Injury timeout here for Jones. And now we get back to action. 45 seconds left, second period, 2-2 tie.
All tied up 2-2.
Each wrestler trying to get something going there, neither able to finish.
But both just missed, too.
Forrest missed a shot. Jones gets the takedown, spinning around behind. He leads 4-2.
Nothing but quickness. It was just nothing but quickness.
Down to 15 seconds.
Forrest will, or excuse me, Jones will have the choice going to the third period. 10 seconds left, doesn't want to give up one here late.
Important 10 seconds it is, too.
And they're out. Just 7 seconds to go. Jones, good job keeping Forrest down on the mat as we end the second period. Go for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania won the first 2 bouts to go up 6-0, then a fall at 125 for Paul Collin of the USA, made it 6-6. Brad Metzler with a win at 130 pounds made it 9-6, and then 4 straight for Pennsylvania to make it 19-9. And a takedown for Jones gives him a 6-2 lead here with a minute and a half to go in the third. Jones able to take Forrest back to the mat after he had gotten to his feet. Now they're out with a minute 17 left.
Jones, just his physical ability has just been obvious here tonight. When we look at the Forrest, who's an excellent wrestler on a national scale, and really Jones's quickness has really neutralized just about everything that Forrest has attempted to do here. It's just been really an impressive showing so far for Greg Jones.
Forrest to get to his feet, but not able to get free. Jones nearly took him straight to his back, but realized he needed to get back around behind him to maintain control. And now Jones to the half. Jones trying to drive that thing in deep. Forrest peeled it out of there once, but Jones got it in a second time.
45 seconds in this match of this great classic at 160.
40 seconds to go, third period. Jones of Pennsylvania riding and leading 6-2.
Group supply tickets. Leave a ticket out. Hey folks, you need a card?
30 seconds to go.
Down to 25 seconds.
And there's an escape for Forrest to make it 6-3, 20 seconds remaining. And they're out. Forrest thought he might accomplish something there on the edge, and Jones just shoved him right out of bounds.
When you're wrestling at that pace, I mean, Jones just speeds the bats up so much that I don't think Forrest just knew where he was coming from, and that was that. Now deep shot by Jones.
Talk about quick. Takedown makes it 8-3. And Forrest realizes it's over. So it's 5 in a row now for Pennsylvania after the 8-3 win for Greg Jones, and a 22-9 lead for Pennsylvania with 4 bouts to go. At 171 for Pennsylvania, Dusty Heist out of Meadville High School. For the USA, Eric Bradley from New Hampshire. Timberlane Regional High School in New Hampshire, a 3-time state champion and a 1-time runner-up. Bradley 149-19 in his career, 48-0 in his senior season. Heist 41-0 this year with a state championship, 129-24 in his career, and Heist quickly out to a 2-0 lead. And they're out 23 seconds in. Bradley trying to get free. Heist wanted to pick him up, set him down. Didn't quite work for him, but he was able to just more or less trip him to the mat. Bradley again nearly getting free, but a good job by Heist to take him back down to the mat. And out with 1:17 left in the first.
Heist won his state title in a very strange manner. He won his state title on cautions and ride out.
It was the first time I had ever seen that happen. And an escape for Bradley to make it 2-1. Under a minute to go, opening period here at 171 pounds.
2-1 score here for Heist.
5 straight wins for Pennsylvania to put them up 22-9.
He was USA Magazine's All-American this year.
All but one of those 5 regular decisions, a major at 135 for Jake Gimoni. Good shot at a double by Heist, but he couldn't finish it. 30 seconds left in the first.
He's in an English honor society and a French honor society.
3.7 student.
Heist going to Indiana University. Bradley undecided.
2-1 score. Still there for Dusty Heist.
And I assume for Heist that's Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
I don't believe so. He wants to be a Division I national champion. IUP doesn't field a wrestling team. That's Indiana, Bloomington, which competes in the Big Ten.
2-1 at the end of one. Heist in the lead. Bradley takes bottom position with choice here in the second period. Heist made 3 trips to the Pennsylvania State Tournament, winning the title just 2 weeks ago. Heist trying to go right to a pinning combination here. What a great move as he picked Bradley up and took him right to his back. Heist will get 3 near fall points to go up 5-1.
Good hips and great horsepower that time, and Heist takes him on over. Now we have an injury time, or blood time.
We resume second period action with 1.5 minutes to go at 171 pounds. Heist of Pennsylvania leading Bradley of the USA 5-1. Bradley free for an escape to make it 5-2. Minute 20 remaining as they go out. And they're out with 1:10 remaining in the second. Tom Mans restarts the 2. Heist right after the leg. but not able to pull it in.
Shots, your shots. Clear under that underhook. In motion. There you go, more of that.
Bradley swiped at a leg and didn't get it. Tries again at the ankle. 45 seconds left, second period. 5-2, Dusty Heist of Pennsylvania. And it looks like we've got a cut on the bridge of the nose there for Bradley. He'll get a blood timeout. And they're back at it. Getting late in the second period, 5-2, Heist of Pennsylvania leading. And we've got another whistle. Heist shaken up here, it appears. A short timeout for Heist, and now he's ready to continue.
Bradley's really picked it up here and gotten a couple strong shots. That time, such a strong shot, he knocked Heist contact out of his eye.
And they're out with 19 seconds to go in the second period. Bradley dropping down, but the shot just wasn't there. Now he gets a good shot. Time running out in the period, though. Not able to finish, no takedown. USA coaches want it, but they're not going to get it.
Let go on that.
He's given an escape here by Bradley to make it 6-2. Just 9 seconds off the clock in the third, and they're out.
Even though Bradley has been controlling the match, though, he hasn't been finishing, he hasn't been scoring. So even if he pushes Heist to where Heist can barely walk anymore, he's so tired, if he's not scoring, it doesn't matter.
Bradley left the right leg open, and Heist trying to take advantage of it. Minute and a half to go, and Heist gets the takedown to go up 8-2.
Heist has capitalized when he needed to. Now Heist just with a simple half in, and Bradley doesn't let him have it, but time is wasting now.
Heist got a 1 count, and now he'll get near fall points.
He's got him in a bit of a problem.
Bradley in a little trouble, but he'll struggle and get back to his stomach, but 3 near fall points for Heist. And that gives him an 11-2 lead. He's in line to get a major decision here with 50 seconds to go.
And I think that last set of points before that just took everything out of Bradley, and now Heist is just controlling the bout.
If Heist is able to win by major decision here, he would make it 26-9 with 3 bouts to go. USA would need 3 falls to win 27-26.
25 seconds remaining.
20 seconds to go. This would be a big win for Dusty Heist, Pennsylvania, to really put the pressure on USA in the final 3 bouts.
Well, really, I mean, the USA team has, Pennsylvania team has wrestled very strong throughout here, and 3 falls is going to be a lot.
6 consecutive wins for Pennsylvania. That's the second major during that streak. And the 11-2 victory for Dusty Heist out of Meadville High School makes it 26-9 with 3 to go. Here we go at 189 for Pennsylvania. John Sabe from Cumberland Valley High School, state champion, along with a 2nd and a couple of 6th place finishes. He's headed to Penn State. For the USA, Travis Pasco from Gonzaga Prep High School, Rathdrum, Washington. A 3-time state champion is Pasco. 138 career wins and 8 losses. 40-0 his senior season for Pasco. Sabe, 32-1 as a senior, 124-15 in his career. Very impressive showing for Team Pennsylvania, leading 26-9. 6 straight wins for them. Pasco in on the right leg here. And Good job by Sauve to get out of bounds without giving up the points. Halfway through the opening period here at 189.
Every hand.
40 seconds left in a scoreless first period here. $19.99. Sauve wrestled the wrestler we'll see at heavyweight in the state tournament next for Pennsylvania, John Kondo. Kondo finished 5th that year.
10 seconds.
Sauve was injured his junior season and finished 6th as we come to the end of a scoreless first period.
Plays itself out as they go along.
Pasco, the USA, defers, and Sauve takes bottom position. Nearly got free and now does.
Sauve with the first point.
So Sauve with a 1-0 lead early in the second. Stalemate called. Clem Wondrisco, the referee here. Early in period number 2. These two have been pretty quiet on their feet.
They're still trying to figure out how they're going to attack each other. There's not much doubt about that. Now Sauve tries to go deep, but Pasco fights that off. Now Pasco in deep, and
Pasco just measuring Sauve there, trying to figure out how he can trip him down to the mat and get the takedown here. Pasco just very measured as he tries to figure out the best way on the edge and just couldn't finish as they go out.
Pasco seems a little bit almost indignant that they went to the edge, and I thought every time he got close to the line, Sauve knows that's the promised land in that situation, and he got there. I don't know whether Pasco thought he should have been warned for stalling or whatever.
I think he was just upset with himself that he didn't finish. He just took a little bit too long trying to decide what to do, and he let Sauve get out of bounds.
Sauve's a pretty cool customer in that situation, considering everything.
30 seconds remaining second period. The only point so far, the escape in this period for Sauve out of Cumberland Valley High School. Just 15 seconds to go in the second. Well, it looks like Sauve will carry the 1-0 lead to the third period, and Pasco will have the choice.
It'll start with Pasco in the down position.
Pasco wants to work from the bottom. Sauve able to take him right back to the mat. Pasco bounces right back up, gets the escape. And we'll see if either can get something accomplished on their feet here, as we are now 1-1 with 1:45 left in regulation. Pasco was close in the second period, had a deep single, but Sauve was able to get out of bounds. Pasco with another decent shot there, but not able to finish it.
Pasco's just missed that far knee cradle twice now. If he hits that, that could be the end of the match.
Sauve trying to make something happen, could not.
He's looking for it, Jeff, just like you said. He just looked at it again there, that far knee cradle. And
1:10 remaining, third period. Wrestlers 1-1.
Heavyweight, and also to recall, we're going to do 2 matches at 119. 119 has already had 1 match.
Pennsylvania with a 26-19 lead, and they'll get right back to work. Down to 40 seconds remaining. Pasco dropped down, really didn't get a shot there. 30 seconds remaining. 1-1 tie here at 189. Nice little near throw attempt by Sauve. Couldn't finish it.
you kind of thought Sauve was going to be able to hit that because he kind of let it go and then just went at him. Then he hammered him on the edge.
Looks like we're going to be headed to overtime here. 15 seconds remaining. And we're going to be 1-1 at the end of regulation.
We're going to go into the first overtime in this duel.
2 minutes on the clock. No stalling calls to carry over. Both have had opportunities working neutral, and they've spent really the bulk of their time working on their feet in this match. And really, Pasco in the second period, when he was in on that deep single, had the best opportunity of either to get a takedown. Headlock attempt here off a missed shot by Sauve, but now Pasco with the hands locked. Sauve wants to and does get out of bounds.
It's an escape, and then another escape in the third, made it 1-1, and no one scoring on their feet.
One minute remaining in this overtime period. Each wrestler with an escape. And an escape may decide it when all is said and done.
45 seconds of overtime.
Deep shot at the left leg. This is right where Pasco was in the second period. Tried a couple of trips, couldn't make him work. Nice move there by Sauve when he went down to the mat to get back up on 1 foot before Pasco could move up and get the takedown. They didn't get a clean start there. Clem Wondrisco now says that's my fault. He'll restart the 2. 20 seconds remaining in this overtime period. Well, looks like we're going to go to a ride-out period here. And the all-important flip of the disc coming up. Pasco wins the flip. Heist has to try to ride here for 30 seconds. Or excuse me, Sauve has to try to ride for 30 seconds. And even a win here is not going to be enough for the USA team as Sauve gets called for stalling on top 10 seconds in. Even if Pasco wins, that makes it 26-12 and would still clinch a victory for Pennsylvania. Sauve not concerned about that right now. He wants to win, and he does a nice job of picking Pasco up and setting him down. 13 seconds to go in the ride-out period.
10 seconds.
Good job by Sauve. Pasco, 5 seconds left. Locked hands penalty coming up against Sauve, and that'll cost him the bout 2-1.
And both guys went out at the same time, both officials.
Team USA.
So Pasco wins it by a 2-1 score to make it 26-12, but Pennsylvania will win here. The best USA can do is 2 falls to make it 26-24. The heavyweights for Pennsylvania, John Kondo from Phillipsburg, Osceola. And for the USA, Mike Faust out of Gilman High School in Baltimore, Maryland. Faust headed for the University of Pennsylvania, 36-0, 3-time state champion, 142-6 in his career. Kondo, a 1st and a 5th in the Pennsylvania State Tournament, 91-20 career record, 36-1 as a senior.
26-12.
Kind of interesting.
Has been won by Pennsylvania.
Faust is from Maryland. He's going to Penn. Kondo is from Pennsylvania. He's headed to Maryland.
Little inter-district transportation thing there.
Gilman School High School in Baltimore, Maryland, where he was a 3-time state champion.
Kondo is playing in the Big 33 game here in the state of Pennsylvania, which is interesting. He was first team All-State linebacker. I guess the question now becomes, why is Kondo going to Maryland?
Interestingly enough,
1 minute to go, scoreless first period. Kondo trying to fight off Faust on the edge of the mat. Kondo now trying to get 2, and he's got it. 49 seconds left in the first.
2 points on the board for Kondo. 1 more match to go at 119 pounds.
Wrestlers ready. Faust free for 1.
Get 2. Do it again.
40 seconds left in the first. Kondo of Pennsylvania leading by a 2-1 score.
Elevate the hook. Come on, let's go. One headlock, bring it in. Come on, set down.
Down to 20 seconds remaining in the first.
Gotta move quick.
Two big guys going at it right in the center of the mat. Neither able to make anything happen after that initial takedown by Kondo and escape by Faust. And it'll be 2-1 Kondo after 1. Jim Sterner, the referee, getting the 2 set.
Hard, drive him hard. Drive him hard, drive down. Come on. Keep working.
Kondo, second attempt. Nearly to his feet.
Up high. Hard. Hard.
Faust just takes him to the edge and out. 15 seconds off the second period clock. Kondo again trying to get free for 1 up on his feet and does. He leads 3-1. Early second period here at heavyweight. 1 more bout to go. We'll see Chris Rodriguez of Georgia for the 2nd time tonight. He'll be taking on Chris Flieger for Pennsylvania out of Loyalsock High School. Pennsylvania has guaranteed themselves their 14th win in the 26-year history of the Classic.
Also named on 3 occasions to the all-academic team. Once named as its
1 minute to go in the second period. John Kondo of Pennsylvania leading 3-1.
Gilman School High School in Baltimore, Maryland for Team USA.
Gotta get a shot. Come on, Ed. Can't waste too much time.
John Kondo in blue does real well in wrestling.
Kondo nearly lost his balance there.
All-state linebacker in football.
And they're out with 40 seconds left in the second.
Mark, I don't mean to bring the bearer of bad news, but Mr. Rodriguez is in a sling.
Well, we shall see, and he doesn't look like he's warming up either, so he may not be able to wrestle.
He has his street shoes on and his arms in a sling. I'm pretty sure he's not wrestling.
You don't want to dance, but get it, get it.
It's not a good look with street shoes.
2 points on the board. It's tied at this point.
Takedown for Faust to tie things up at 3 with 20 seconds remaining in the second.
20 seconds, let's go. You got to keep
kind of feel bad for Flieger in a lot of ways. I've been thinking about that ever since I saw his elbow and whatever's wrong with him early on. I thought, you know, if Flieger comes out here and doesn't get a shot to go,
he's not going to be very happy.
no,
He's not going to be upset as Kondo gets an escape here to go up 4-3. He's not going to be upset with Rodriguez, but I mean that's the whole reason he came here was to wrestle him.
I feel even worse for the kid that Rodriguez replaced. At first, there was going to be 2 119-pound matches, but Rodriguez was only going to wrestle one of them. He replaced somebody.
End of 2. Kondo of Pennsylvania leads 4-3.
apparently was injured coming in because he was taped up to begin with in the spade spot. So
he was injured. That was the first thing he said when he got off the plane, was that his elbow was hurt.
Escape for Faust to start the third period, and we're tied at 4.
Let it go for it. Circle to get it. Come on, circle, move and get it. Come on, you can do it, Mike. Don't wait the last minute.
So we had an overtime bout at 189. These two guys a little more active on their feet. Still got a minute and a half remaining in this third period.
Remember your speed, you gotta be quick.
Both guys very cautious now in the third period in a 4-4 tie.
All tied up 4-4.
Circle high C. Come on now, let's do the coach.
Work out in the open here.
You can do it, Mike. Come
Now
on.
tie up with a minute remaining.
Circle. Mike, come on, you're gonna be staying up the whole period. Let's go. No neck. No neck.
And Faust drives Kondo out with 49 seconds remaining. Still tied at 4.
You can do it. I see. Come up with it. Come up with it.
See if either can pick up a takedown here in the final 40 seconds.
Almost in. You got 30. 30.
30 seconds.
Kondo with a shot, but he almost whiffed on the leg. Faust tried to spin around behind, and he'll try to finish on the edge, but can't. Good flurry, but neither able to finish.
That only works in horseshoes. 4-4, 20 seconds of regulation time.
Kondo and Faust tie once again, and there's a good flurry. A lot of times heavyweights still want to go. Now Kondo drops down for Faust. Faust fights it off though.
I see right there. Get an ankle.
As they go out with 6 seconds remaining, I think we're going to see Dante Lewis of the Nebraska team go against Chris Flieger. Looks like that's the word we get. But we've still got overtime to settle things here in our heavyweight bout. Case give credit to Lewis for coming out and going the extra 6 minutes, or maybe more, maybe less. We'll see. We'll see what happens here in the overtime at heavyweight.
Snap it down. Bring it to the middle. Snap.
And they're out 18 seconds into the overtime. Flieger not really warming up over on the other side either.
Oh, that's kind of how he is, too. He doesn't warm up a whole lot. He's a real cool customer, usually.
Minute and a half remaining in the overtime period here at heavyweight.
Toes. Hit it, Mike. Hit a high sink. Circle.
These guys really battling in the tie-ups.
Back seven. That's high C.
And out they go with a minute 12 left.
Come on, Mike. You're not tired. Let's go.
And just go right to that tie-up off the whistle again.
Circle.
Less than a minute to go in the overtime period. Kondo reaches for a leg, doesn't get it.
45 seconds.
Now we're down to 40 seconds to go.
40 seconds. 40.
Kondo faked the shot. Faust reacted to it. They just bounced right back up to their feet. Kondo trying to set something up with those taps to the head. 20 seconds remaining. And a good deep shot by Faust, but right on the edge, couldn't finish it.
Circle and hit it. Circle and hit it. Come on.
See if anything happens here in the final 15 seconds, or we'll go to another ride-out period. We saw it at 189, and we're just 5 seconds away from seeing the ride-out period here at heavyweight. Faust again looked like he might have gotten in deep, but couldn't finish it. And again, here we go to a ride-out period, second straight bout.
30 more seconds. The choice goes to...
Choice belongs to Kondo, and he takes bottom position. He has 30 seconds to try to get out.
Kondo barely even signaled. As soon as the disc came up green, he just went straight down.
To his feet. Faust hanging onto the leg. Kondo a second attempt on his feet. Trying to peel off, and there's the escape at 11 seconds of the ride-out period. Kondo of Pennsylvania wins at 2-1 as the teams trade ride-out victories at 189 in heavyweight. Team score 29-12 Pennsylvania.
A very gallant proposal was made by Chris Rodriguez of Team US. Chris Flieger, but stepping into the...
Chris Rodriguez not going to wrestle, but Chris Flieger will get an opportunity to wrestle for Pennsylvania, and he will take on Dante Lewis, who wrestled for the Nebraska team at 119 pounds.
He says, I'm ready. Dante Lewis coming in with a record of 34 wins, no losses, 3-time state champion in Nebraska. Taking on Chris Flieger, 34 wins and no losses.
Flieger out of Loyalsock High School. 2-time state champion, also won a 4th and a 6th, 134-5 in his career, 34-0 his senior season.
And ladies and gentlemen,
And Mark Flieger doesn't appear to be too excited about this whole thing.
our referee, Jim Horner.
Well, he's going to have to just try to get over that and see what he can do here against Lewis. Lewis in his bout, as Flieger takes him down here. Lewis won 9-5 over Matt Schaumburg of Freedom in the WPIAL versus Nebraska bout.
Don't move a muscle.
Minute 35 remaining in the opening period. Flieger with a 2-0 lead. Lewis trying to figure out a way to get off his belly, and count coming here for Flieger. He's going to get 3 near fall points here midway through the first period. So Flieger's going to take a 5-0 lead. Points not yet awarded. He's still trying to work for the fall. And he walks out to the side. He's close to getting it here as he goes around the head. Lewis is in trouble. Fights it off for the moment, but Flieger still working for that pin. Lewis gets back to his stomach. 3 near fall points for Flieger. He leads 5-0.
3 points for the near fall.
35 seconds left opening period.
Chris Flieger sets his eyes at Purdue, as we told you.
And Flieger going to get another count here. Same combination he used just seconds earlier.
His career goal to be in orthopedic surgery. 3-point average, 3.9.
Lewis, a 3-time Nebraska state champion. 116-15 in his career, 34-0 as a senior. From William Jennings Bryan High School in Omaha, Nebraska. End of 1, Flieger going to lead 7-0 as he got 2 near fall points out of that last combination. Wrestlers will start the second period neutral. Flieger wasting little time getting in on the legs. Leads 7-0 and about to make it 9-0. There it is. And another near fall count coming for Chris Flieger. George, you say he might not have looked thrilled because he didn't get a chance to wrestle Rodriguez, but he is certainly, with 2 more near fall points here, now leading 9-0. Looks like he might be taking his frustrations out on Dante Lewis.
Well, he's definitely doing that. He just doesn't appear to be too excited in the process, and I'm sure he's disappointed. I'm sure he'd like to have first crack at Rodriguez. I mean, I'm certain to say sure, but you might imagine that he would think that way.
I'm sure he's really disappointed he didn't get to wrestle Rodriguez, but Chris never really gets too excited about anything. He's been warming up for national finals, and he would sit in the chair like he did right now. Doesn't really matter who he has, he never really gets too excited.
Has Lewis at 90 degrees again.
45 seconds.
Flieger barring the right arm. He's had Lewis on his back 3 different times. Got a 1 count there from Jim Horner, but that was all. And another 1 count. As we get down to 20 seconds remaining in the second period.
Following this match, we give the 2 outstanding wrestling awards.
11-0. Chris Flieger leading. Pennsylvania with a 29-12 team lead. And we come to the end of the second. Flieger leads 11-0.
Third final period.
And Lewis with the choice now for the third. Flieger free for 1. That makes it 12-0.
1 point escape, 12-0.
Early in the third period, Lewis going after the legs, but just can't get there. Flieger just stands right there. Lewis with those taps to the head. Lewis had the ankle, just couldn't do anything with it. Flieger forced him off. Flieger with his hands on his knees there. I think just daring Lewis to do something. Flieger just leaving the legs wide open, daring Lewis to shoot.
Down to 1 minute.
And a stalling call against Flieger, first call against him. Just under a minute to go in the third. Again, Flieger just sticking the leg out there. Lewis shot at it, couldn't pull it in. Now Flieger trying to finish off a single. He's got the takedown and he leads 14-0. And Flieger, we can get a count here of 2, which he does. We'll get a technical fall and that's it.
And a technical fall on the board.
16-0 at 5:28. Technical fall for Flieger. And it's 34-12, the final team score. Pennsylvania wins for the 14th time in the 26-year history of the Classic.
The Outstanding Wrestler Awards.
Justin Spates
8-inch tall classic stature.
wrestled first against Chris Rodriguez of Georgia, beat him 3-2. Pennsylvania went up 6-0, but a fall at 112 by Paul Collin of the United States tied things at 6. Pennsylvania then won 7 in a row to lead 26-9. Team split a couple of overtime decisions, and Flieger with the technical fall to give Pennsylvania a 34-12 win. They win it handily and win it impressively.
No doubt about that. Pennsylvania came to wrestle today, and certainly you see why they're such a strong wrestling state.
26th annual Post-Gazette Wrestling Classic. We hope you enjoyed it as they recognize the outstanding wrestlers. For George Lammy and Jeff Brees, I'm Mark Uriah. Hope you enjoyed the 2000 Post-Gazette Wrestling Classic.